What's up? Liz Wilcox here. You're listening to episode 61 of the Email Sound Booth podcast, if I could spit that name out. How to get people to reply to your newsletters. This is going to be a short episode, I think. Hopefully, it will be a simple episode. And it's going to be an episode where you can walk away with some like super action steps. So I'm really excited. So let's get to it. Time is precious, and I thank you for spending some of your time with me. So the simple way is just asking yes or no questions. Seriously, that is it. A lot of people I've seen, especially in my membership when we do our once a month Q&As, nobody replies, Liz, nobody replies. But when I ask them, well, what are you asking them? They're asking really complicated questions. Remember, we are following something called the email staircase around here inside the email sound booth. Follower, friend, customer. Most of the people on our list are not our friends yet. They're not going to answer complicated questions like, what do you want to see next? Right? But they will answer simple questions like, do you send a weekly newsletter? Hit reply yes or no, right? That it has to be, when I say a yes or no question, it has to be like very front of brain. Like they know the answer to this as easily as they can answer their name, right? So there's a few places. Well, of course, you can put this anywhere, right? Your welcome sequence, your newsletters, your pre-launch, your sales. Well, scratch that. In sales, we're answering questions. We're not asking them. But the rest of our emails should be opening conversations. I think Mike Kim said it best. It's not about closing a sale. It's about opening a conversation. And so yes or no questions are going to allow you to open up conversations very easily, to move people from that follower stage into the friend stage. So where are we putting these yes or no questions? Well, first, I already mentioned your welcome sequence. In the very first email, you should be putting a yes or no question in there in the PS, right? So you send out whatever you promise to send out, and then, PS, yes or no question here. So back in the day, I used to have an RV travel blog. And so I could ask, PS, where are you in your RV travels or your RV journey? But again, they're just followers. They're not friends. They don't really want to have a conversation with a stranger yet, right? So instead of that, I would ask, PS, do you currently own a rig? Hit reply yes or no. Then based on what they would tell me, I knew where the conversation was going. I knew who was on my list, and I knew how to take the conversation. So if they replied, no, Liz, I don't, I would say, I hope one day you can. I recommend shopping at this, that, and the other. Also, here's my buying guide so you can see, maybe what kind of rig you would like if you're still in that decision making process, right? So I'm appearing incredibly helpful, but I also know, if I get a bunch of people that say no, 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 that helps me guide what my products might be or how to position my products, right? If I get a bunch of people that say yes, then I know they're at a different stage and I know I need to create or talk about other products, right? So that's why we want replies in the first place. I didn't even mention that. We want replies to open up conversations, right? So again, if they say no, here's my buying guide. Here's some recommendations for you. If they say yes, oh my gosh, great. Are you on the road full time yet? So then I can start asking other questions. Are you on the road full time yet? Is that the goal to be full time? And then just, I can't wait to hear more about you. And then again, if going back to if they say no, you can say that same thing. I can't wait to hear about, when you finally get your rig. Okay. And yes, this totally works in moving them from the follower to the friend. Y'all, this worked. There was a guy, his name was Johnny Lightning, right? Or that's what he went by. Anyway, I don't think that's his real name. But he was one of the first people to hit reply to this question of mine. And he said, oh, Liz, if I ever buy a rig, you'll be the first to know, because his wife was kind of iffy about it, and he stayed on my list for years. And once I sold the blog, I got this random text message, and it was Johnny, and it was a picture of his rig, and he's like, I finally got it. Or it wasn't a text, it was a DM. And I knew exactly who it was. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And it all started with that yes or no question. So then again, put it in your newsletters, right? If you write something, 5 facts or, 5 tips at the end, was this helpful to you? Or even better than that, was this new information? Hit reply yes or no. Some people are going to say yes. Some people will say no, but it was a good reminder. And here's the thing about yes or no questions. Most people will answer more than. So rather than saying like, oh, where are you at on your RV journey? I don't know, lady, that's a weird question, right? Or, if I could wave a magic wand and fix one thing for you, what would it be? I hate that question. That's just like, who's going to answer that, right? I don't know, lady. But if you can ask these yes or no questions, again, you're going to open up those conversations, and you're going to be able to kind of tell where they're at in their journey and how you can help them. So in the newsletters, was this info helpful? If somebody says yes, then you're on the right track with your content. If a lot of people say no, this wasn't new information to me, then you have more advanced people, you can go deeper, right? And honestly, you can use this strategy, tactic, whatever you want to call it, on social media as well. Now, a bonus tip for getting replies is to just ask people to type something in directly. So for example, in my welcome sequence in the 3rd email, I say, hey, around here we do XYZ. This is for you if you are ABC type of person. And then I say, if this is you, hit reply, too legit to quit, so I know you're in. I cannot tell you how many people actually hit reply. Every day we get these. Too legit to quit, Liz. Too legit to quit. And again, it's just a way of opening the conversation. And I say, oh my gosh, so fun. Can't wait to get to know you. For example, I'm recording this at the end of 2024. So I might say, I can't wait to see what we do together with email in 2025, right? So normally I say something like that, and, it starts the conversation from there. They start replying, they start clicking, ... So we want replies because they open up conversations. They also help with deliverability, right? If I reply to your email, the internet gods are going to put your next email in my inbox, okay? So good. The strategy or the tactic, whatever we're calling it, yes or no questions, put them everywhere. Welcome sequence, newsletter, pre-launch, all of that, all your emails. And then a bonus tip, get them to type something directly, especially in the welcome sequence when you're telling them, hey, this is what it's about. When you're setting expectations, you can have them type I'm in so I know you're in. It can be really, really simple. All right, that was episode 61. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review of the podcast, whatever the preposition is there, and let me know how this helped you. I can't wait to see you succeed. As always, if you need help with this stuff, you need help figuring out yes or no questions, how to weave them in, I do all of that for you in my $9 a month email marketing membership. I'm going to link to that in the show notes. As always, I'm Liz Wilcox. You're awesome. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Email Sound Booth podcast. Thanks for listening.